Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to my video presentation. I am Nur Amalia binti Ismin, final year student of Bachelor Science Biology. I'm going to present about my final year project, which is Notes on Macrofungi from selected recreational park in Kelantan. This presentation consists of 5 chapters, which is Introduction, Literature Review, Methodology, Result and Discussion, Conclusion and Recommendation. To begin with, let's go to the introduction. Fungi represent the largest biotic community and the greatest diversity of heterotrophic organisms on Earth. It has previously been analyzed that the estimated population of fungal species is between 65,000 or 100,000. However, understanding of macrofungi is still limited, and there has not been a lot of research or documentation done on this kingdom. In other words, research on macrofungi is lacking in most of the countries around the world. Kelantan is one of the states that has done the least research on macrofungi. Previous study on macrofungi at Kelantan only done in forested area, it is the ideal habitat for the growth of macrofungi. However, there's no study in an open area, specifically at recreational park. So the objective of the study is, we want to observe the species of macrofungi grow in selected recreational park in Kelantan, and want to identify the collected macrofungi using macromorphological characteristic and micromorphological characteristic, and last, we want to determine the ecological roles of collected macrofungi. Literature review of the study are covered on 2 things, which is macromorphology and micromorphology. Example of macromorphology, which is cap, stem or stipe, gills, or we call as lamella, vulva, and annulus. While for micromorphology, which is basidospores, basidia, cystidia, and clam connection. So for the methodology, the study was conducted at 3 parks, which is Taman Tengku Anis Recreational Park that located in Kota Baru, Kelantan, Pantai Indo Recreational Park that is located in Tupat District, and Alfursan Recreational Park that located in Pengkalan Cepa District. The specimen was captured on camera in the field. For sampling process, the first step is the collection of specimen was collected in Tengku Anis Recreational Park, Alfursan Recreational Park, and Pantai Indo during the rainy season, specifically in November and December 2022, which is last year, and also the wettest months of the year with massive amounts of rainfall. Sample was placed into a paper bag that is labeled with a crucial information such as place, date, and collection number. The second step is microscopic observation. The specimen was photographed from various angles, such as the top of the specimen, which display the cap, side of specimen, which display the natural habitat, and bottom of the specimen, which display the gills. The height and width of the fungus are measured using a ruler and observe their macroscopic feature like stipe, pillars, or gills. Lastly is the observation on microscopy. Micromorphological characteristics such as basidospore were observed in the laboratory by using light microscope and scanning electron microscope. Okay, now let's go to the result and discussion. For the result, a total of 10 samples were collected, of which 6 samples were from Tengku Anis Recreational Park, which is under the genus of Microphorus, Leucocaricus, Sarcodon, Polyporus, and Tramitis, and 2 samples were from Pantai Indo Recreational Park, which is both under the genus of Tramitis, and 2 samples were from Alfursan Recreational Park, which is the genus Nectarius and Podocypa. And only 2 ecological roles were portrayed by macrofungi collected in the study. About 80% species were identified as saprophytes, and 20% species were identified as mycorrhizal symbionts. Okay, now let's discuss on the macrofungi that I found. Okay, first is Microphorus xanthopus. The cap of this macrofungi is flat to broadly funnel-shaped fungus with diameter 10 to 15 cm. The upper surface has a shiny banded brown, and the edge of the cap is cream to white color. This part will be attractive following rain as it emits a shining effect. Has a numerous tiny pores with creamy white undersurface of the pillars. The basidospore were fusiform and it appears with most smooth surface. These species are widely distributed in polytropic, which compose of the tropical areas of Africa, Asia, and Oceania, and it is also a common wound-inhibiting fungi in Malaysia. Okay, next is Leucoagaricus species. This species has a convex pillars with a low prominent umbu. The color of the pillars ranges from orange, reddish-brown in the middle and fades to a cream color toward the margin, has a diameter in approximately 2.5 cm, and lamella found to be densely packed, free, and unattached to the stipe. Annulus whitish and flaring with position at the superior of the stipe. For micromorphology, the basidospore were ellipsoid to oblong with flattened or convex adhesial site, slightly thick wall, smooth and clustering in groups. This species can be mistakenly grouped as agaricus species as it has a similar characteristic which they have a brownish color like button at the center of the caps. However, it can be distinguished by the color of the gills. The gills of Lugo agaricus are typically appear in white. And next is Sarcodon carbonareus. Pillar surface black, fleshy, stipitate and pinnate with 4 to 6.5 cm in diameter, conical and convex when young and becoming plano-convex and aplanate at maturity. Distinctive tooth and spine on the side of the pillars which free from the start. For basidospore, it was a globous to subglobous and irregular in outline. Sarcodon carbonareus are quite similar to Sarcodon twitesi and Sarcodon atroviridis. Sarcodon twitesi differ by its purple color when it's fresh and spore with tubercles that are numerous, strongly prominent, coarse and deeply esculpate. Sarcodon atroviridis have similar in the shape of basidospore but have much smaller size compared to Sarcodon carbonareus. Okay, next is polyporous chromocephalus. It has annual, demediate, and briefly stipitate basidocarp. Upon drying, margin become woody, which can range from smooth to rolling and can be slightly rhymous. Pore surface characterized by tiny, close-packed tubes or pores with 2 to 3 per millimeter and angular. The stem is short, laterally placed, long-stalked and solid. The spore is oblong to sub-ellipsoid and have a smooth surface. This species has a widespread distribution and is found in tropical and subtropical region. Okay, this is a Tramitis. The cap of Tramitis initially flat top, becoming slightly funnel shaped with a thin margin. Upper surface concentrically zones of different color, lightest or white color at the margin, darker reddish brown or rusty cinnamons in the center, cap flash tough and shining. Basidospore cylindrical, irregularly oblong to ellipsoid. This species can be mistaken as Hypnellum species due to the identical in appearance, specifically its pores. Hypnellum pores resemble teeth or spinous hymenophore and commonly known as the teeth mushroom. And pores of this type of Tramitis also can appear with a tooth feature as it can elongate upon maturity. Also, it can be mistaken as Ganoderma, but it differs in the color of the pore surface, where pore surface of Ganoderma always appear in white. Okay, this is Tramitis species 2. The upper surface shows a shade of brown and black color with mousse texture, zoned with sharply contracting concentric color zones, and the surface being velvety or finely fuzzy. The micromorphology is unavailable or cannot be observed under both light microscope and SEM, as it's slightly rotten, which causes a difficulty to observe their spore. This species can be assumed as Tramitis versicolor due to the shade of color that appear on the cap. This species is a cosmopolitan genus that can be found in almost any type of forest, which is temperate, boreal, and tropical regions. Most of this type of species are widely used in medicine such as in China and Japan. They use this species in traditional medicine, which is prepared in the form of dried powder tea as a general health for promoting effect. Okay, next is Lacteria species. Okay, the cap initially flattened or convex, but as it ages, it may become depressed or concave. The gills are decurrent, which extend slightly down the stem with pale or cream color. The stem is cylindrical or club-shaped with 3 to 5 cm. The basidospore broadly ellipsoid to ellipsoid or subglobous in shape and ornamented with warts or ridge and finer lines which subacute and blunt. One of the defining characteristics of this species, which is Lacteria species, is the presence of latex, commonly referred to as milk. The color of latex can be varied, ranging from white, cream to cream color, yellow, orange, or even green. The color of the latex changes upon exposure to air. Okay, this is a Podoshypa petalados. The basidocarp of this species are characterized as small to medium in size. Penis is approximately 2 to 4 cm wide and 3 to 4 cm high. Pseudo-infant dubiliform, funnel shape, frequently curling inward, margin entirely wavy. The basidospore oval or broadly ellipsoid and subglobous in amyloid and smooth wall. This species is also known as a steroid stipitate as it shares the same physical trait as the genus Pteranthropus, including a smooth hymenophore and a tough consistency. It is also known as a wine glass species due to the rosette-shaped fruity body. Okay, this is Tramitis species 3. The cap surface is zoned with contrast, displaying color bands ranging from brown to black, velvety and smooth with age. This species is quite similar to the Tramitis species 2, but this species was found at Pantai do Recreational Park. Bacillus spore was smooth, cylindrical, and has a germ pore on the surface. We also assume this species as Trametes versicolor, as this species has a common characteristic which can be found on Trametes versicolor. Okay, last is Trametes species 4. They are concentric alternating stripe of grey, blue, brown or green, ochre and orange ranging in tone from dark to light. Stimulus attached directly to the substrate, consists of hymnophore that are white in color, small in size and circular in shape, thin, tough and leathery when fresh. Have a smooth subcylindrical spore, allantoid and amyloid. This species possesses a scent that is either reminiscent of anise or sweeter, and it is quite identical to the Trametes suavalens. So we assume this species as a Trametes suavalens. And for the conclusion, macrofungi recovered from 3 parks in Kelantan exhibit only 10 species of 7 different genera which belong to 5 different families. 6 out of 10 were recorded in Tengku Anis Recreational Park, 2 in Alfrosan Recreational Park, and the other 2 in Pantaindo Recreational Park. The most macrofungi that we have found is under a genus Trametes. From the collected macrofungi, 2 were identified as mycorrhiza, which were from the genus Sarcodon and Lacterius, and the remaining 8 species were saprophytic fungi. Among the 3 parks, Tengku Anis Recreational Park had the highest number of macrofungi compared to Pantaindo Recreational Park and Alfrosan Recreational Park. This is due to the several factors including human activities, the level of light intensity, humidity, and temperature. The identification of fungi in this study was found to have many shortcomings, which caused the identification to be only up to the genus. This caused by the lack of important characteristics of macrofungi that need to be recorded when sampling activities were carried out. And also, the lack of reliable resources and low performance of equipment used such as light microscope and scanning electron microscope also contribute to the difficulty in identifying species. And last but not least, because of the rotted specimen also contribute to the difficulty in observing the spore. So as a recommendation, more effort should be made to obtain a higher number of macrofungi, such as increasing the frequency of visit to the sampling site and have a longer sampling period in order to observe the macrofungi development from young until they reach maturity. And also, the equipment used must be inspected in order for the process of identifying the type of spore to run more smoothly and with a clearer image of the spore. And finally, molecular identification method needs to be done so that the identification of fungi is more accurate and rapid. With this, notes and information about fungi can be improved and can be used as a reference for future researchers, thus developing information about fungi in Kelantan. And that's all from me. Thank you for your time and have a good day.